What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and this latest chapter of Kingdom was complete fire in my opinion. It not only ended this chapter in such an amazing way, but this also sets up for so much greatness in the next chapter, maybe even the next 2 or 3 chapters. Like, this is gonna be so fucking god tier, and I can't wait to see how this shit progresses. But yeah, let's start off at the beginning of this chapter. So for the majority of this chapter, we see Shin taking command of the Haishin unit, making plays to counter Gyoun, and sometimes Gyoun even countering those plays that Shin makes. And although it wasn't completely one-sided like it was when Ten was in command, Shin was still at a disadvantage because Gyoun was still outplaying him for the most part. Like, he still managed to start this fire that he was trying to start from the beginning of the fight. So although it was good to see Shin take command and actually demonstrate some skill as an instinctual type general, it is still clear to us that Gyoun is superior to him, which is fine, to be honest. I don't think anyone's mad at that. Well, I don't think anyone should be mad at that, considering who Gyoun is and who he was in the past and what he represents. So yeah, it was just good to see them go head to head. But throughout this chapter, it just kept on ramping up. Like, the hype and the tension kept on increasing and increasing and increasing till it got to this point where Shin finally realized everything that was going on. Like, everything just suddenly hit him and he just went crazy, bro. Like, he looked terrified. Mobilizing all of the unit's reserves, sending them to go help En along with Kyokai. And you guys already know how I feel about this, but that whole scene where he was screaming at Kyokai like, "Oh, you gotta be careful out there, they won't be holding anything back, this will be the most brutal fight of the day," and then she just looks back at him like, yeah, this shit's nothing. Like, she's savage, man. I love Kyokai, but I don't know, it was really good seeing him put his faith in her like that. Like, we already know that Kyokai is a very capable fighter, we all know that Shin knows this, but I don't know, I just feel like there was something different about how he was talking to her like that. It's crazy how after he made this decision to send Kyokai out to go like fight this fight or to go reinforce En without him, right? As soon as he made that decision, he immediately started questioning it. Like, he knew that there was a reason why he sent her out on her own without going with her, but he just didn't know what it was yet, because he still had this uneasy feeling in his stomach, or whatever feeling these instinctual generals get whenever they know something bad is about to happen, right? He still had that feeling, and he knew that he made this decision for a reason, he just couldn't pinpoint why it was yet. And I really think this is interesting, because this is the difference between an instinctual general and a strategic one. A strategic one would have done this knowing full well why they did it, whereas Shin sent her out alone but didn't even realize himself yet why he had done that. And I don't know, I think it's just really interesting seeing Shin go through that process and trying to understand why he makes the decisions that he makes, and seeing him actually come to these conclusions completely by himself is even more satisfying, because honestly, man, I can't tell you guys enough that I've been waiting for this for so fucking long. Like, I thought Retsubi would have been that time. Like, everybody was realizing Retsubi was a trap, literally everyone noticed it apart from Shin, and that was kind of disappointing at the time. So yeah, it's really good seeing him notice these things now and even outplay people like Gyoun, because he has been outplaying him during this fight, and I love seeing that. And I think even Gyoun underestimated how great Shin's instincts actually are, because if we go to look at the final panel where they encountered each other, because they both saw this same path that was being opened up in the center of the battlefield, they both noticed this, and Gyoun thought that he would have been the only one to notice this, so he was completely shocked when he saw Shin standing in front of him. But yeah, speaking of this last panel, like, not even the last panel, but the last 2 pages, like the page before where we see this ominous path opening up between the 2 armies, and then you see panels of Shin sprinting down it at full speed with like only a handful of troops, only to encounter Gyoun at the end of it. Like, bro, that shit was so fucking hype. Like, I wish I did a live reaction to that, because my reaction was actually kind of crazy, bro. This shit was actually god tier. And that's what I mean by this chapter sets up so much greatness for the future, because he's standing right in front of Gyoun right now, and I don't feel like there's any way for him to get out of this without a fight. So either way, we're going to see Shin versus Gyoun. And then we've got Kyokai to the right of him, who is going to be in one of the most difficult battles of the day. Like, this shit is about to be so fucking hype. But I do wonder how long this is going to last for, though. Like, do you guys think Shin and Gyoun will conclude today, or do you feel like their fight will last to the end of the day and then we pick up where we left off tomorrow or some shit like that? Like, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But yeah, overall, this was an amazing chapter. We got so much content for Shin, and it's really good seeing him put in work like this. Like, we don't usually see him in these situations. He's usually the guy out there fighting on the front lines. And oh yeah, speaking of fighting on the front lines, at some points during this chapter, he seemed to be getting really flustered and stuff. Like, he still couldn't see what was going on. And I feel like the reason for that was because he was spending so much time standing there looking at a map when that isn't Shin's character. Like that isn't Shin's fighting style, and that's not how he leads his people. That's Ten's stuff, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like Shin will be that type of instinctual general that leads best when he's on those front lines and he like looks over at all of his troops from horseback. Like, you know how Oki showed him the view of the general back in the day? I feel like that's where he will shine most. But it is good to see him actually take a step back every once in a while like he did in this chapter. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the chapter in the comment section down below. How do you think this Gyo-eun versus Shin fight is going to progress? You can also hit me up on Twitter and Discord as well if you've got any questions. Those links will be in the description down below. Like the video if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already for more of that Kingdom greatness. And I'll see you guys in the next video. 1.